Howdy everyone, this is LockNutz, and you're watching episode 13 of the Wilderness Series on Wastelands. Hopefully you'll stick around to see what happens. Howdy, 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 how are you guys doing today? Oh my goodness, I tell you what, we are just coming in from town, where we just had a meeting with the utility companies. There were several of us here, and I'll kind of fill you in of what came about from that meeting. Now, we're going to come over here, we're going to hang out here for a second while I come and take care of the apples. So I don't think I've checked on these in a little while. That's not bad. So here's what's going on. The utility companies is looking to put in some greener type energy, alternative fuel type energy places. At least that's kind of how they're spinning it. They're looking at putting in 2 power distribution places. Come on. Ooh, that was scary. So yeah, they're looking at putting in 2 different types of power generating facilities. This is what they wanted to call it. Green alternative power generating facilities. Like I said, not my terms, it's theirs. So one of the things that they're looking at doing is they're looking at putting in what they're calling a biogas plant. They called it a BGA for short. And I guess what ends up happening is they end up taking biodegradable materials like grass and silage and stuff like that. And essentially what they do is they kind of let the stuff ferment where it creates like a methane gas, I believe is what they're saying. And that'll go ahead and generate electricity. Now, that's not all they do. This particular facility that they're talking about will also be able to take sugar beets, is what they're saying. Now, I asked the question, why sugar beets? I mean, is there something special in them? And their answer was, because sugar beets have such a high quantity of sugar. Sugar is something that helps break things down and this, that, and the other thing. And they said that they can actually get fuel out of it as well. Now, it's not going to be perfect compared to the methane. But essentially what ends up happening is the sugars help break down and ferment everything all together a little bit more. So that's kind of the thought process behind it. Now, that is one of the facilities. The other facility is a facility that is wood burning, which I kind of asked, isn't that kind of archaic? And they said, no, it's actually not. What they do is they take byproducts from sawmills and with us out here cutting down trees, to take all those byproducts, the unused wood material that doesn't get used for anything else, and they burn it. And it creates electricity, turns some turbines, and there you go. So that's kind of what's going on. Now, I had talked to them because obviously, if it's me, I mean, I was trying to get them to go ahead. Yeah, well, maybe buy my land. This it's a good spot. I got a lot of land. They were hemming and hawing, and I kind of talked them out of a couple areas. One thing is they wanted to go ahead and put it in a different location, like right in town. Like, well, gosh, why do you want to be burning this stuff right in town? That makes absolutely no sense at all. Nobody wants that. And they kind of did start to come around and want to be on my land. Well, the good news with that, good news, bad news, however you want to look at it, they did decide they were going to put one of the two plants on my land. In exchange for payment on that, they're going to do a couple developments in town that should help out with the townsfolk. They're going to be putting in a new high-tech GPS tower. You might be asking yourself, why do we need a GPS tower? Well, I guess it kind of helps with my precision farming that I'm doing here. It helps my equipment and the tractors run better, is essentially how it would affect me. How it affects some of the other town folks, that's going to kind of be down the line of, it's going to help with their vehicles working better, if there's 911 issues, or emergency, I don't remember. This is step away for a second here. I'm sorry, I don't remember what your emergency numbers are around the world. I am sorry. I just know what you do in the U.S. If there's ever emergency, you need to get a hold of the police or anything like that. We dial 911. And I'm sorry. Like I said, I just can't remember what it is across the world. So I guess if you want, comment down below and say, hey, let me know what is your emergency number that you can dial on the telephone to get a hold of the authorities, an emergency number or something like that. And let me know, what is the number and like where are you from, what country you're from. Just let me know. Okay, back to the story. And it'll help with all of that, with being able to locate people in bits and pieces like that. So I was able to negotiate that with them. You can have my land, you don't have to take anything. But if you can go ahead and put at least one of these facilities in to kind of help the town out a little bit, that would be great. Another thing that they were talking about is obviously if they go ahead, it would just kind of like a negotiation with the town. If they are planning on going ahead and building this stuff here, which I'll let you know in just a second, they're going to also go ahead and develop some of the infrastructure around town. They're going to do a couple repairs on some of the bridges, well, just the one big bridge going across town. And they're also going to be going ahead and taking care of some roads out here, because there are two things that are happening here. One of the locations is on my land. Two, the other location is on the other side of the harbor. You remember how you have the ferry that travels across there that we're hoping to reestablish? On my side over here in the woods, that's where they're going to put one of the two facilities. And I'll explain that in just a second here. So they're going to go ahead and they're going to take care of some of the developing of the area. They're going to build some roads for us. It's going to be great. Now, obviously, if I want something built around my farm or something to help me out, they're not going to do that. But they are going to go ahead and build stuff up around the area, at least to be able to get from point A to point B to really help the town out. So they did decide they were going to go with us. And one of the things that is going to end up happening is they are going to be taking this energy, and not just here in this bay, in the valley area here, they're going to be shipping this power out as well. So there's going to be a whole bunch of infrastructure things that are going to be happening around town. It's going to be great. Now, what are we going to see at my location, just on the other side of the tunnel? That is going to be the location of the BGA, the Biogas Plant. Reason for that is the winds. It's kind of a nice spot because it'll blow any potential noxious fumes away from town. And plus, it's kind of a natural eyesore, and this way it'll be on the other side of the mountain and people won't see it. So that's kind of the reason for that. The other thing is going to be, they call it like a, I don't, honestly, after a while I stopped paying attention. It got a little long-winded. So essentially what they do is they take wood byproducts like wood chips and they burn them in that place. And that's going to be over by the, what is it? The ferry. It's going to be over by the ferry, because their big thought process is not just what I can do and what the town can do, but they're going to be taking those byproducts from other places, and they want to be able to ship them into town. So that's kind of what all of this ended up. I think myself and the town folks did a great job of really negotiating to try and get better things for us and to really help develop the valley a little bit, develop the town. It's really, really good news. It really is good news. And I am excited to see how this all turns out because, one, that's good because now we'll have a couple other places that we'll be able to sell our stuff. That's kind of a selfish reason, I know. But it's also going to help with jobs when it comes to the town. Because they're going to need people to run these places. They're going to need people to What's going on here? There we go. They're going to need people to run these places, to maintain these places, to make sure that everything's up and running, everything's working, and stuff doesn't come off without a hitch. So it's good, it's great, it's grand. I'm excited because now, one of the things that we wanted to do here in Grandpa's old stomping grounds is to help develop the town, help develop everything. Now, I could say that, it's all me. It really isn't all me. But honestly, I think a lot of it did actually have to do with me and the shared interest I had in the town. Invested interest, I should say, that I had in the town. And making sure that things happen right, things work out well, and, just all the activity that I've been drawing. Because, we had those couple businesses that popped up in town. Now, obviously, this is kind of a more out-of-the-way area, but, you know what? I think it'll all work out pretty slick in the long run. So I guess for now, guys, I am going to drive this sucker back to the farm, and I think one of the things I'm going to end up having to do is start looking at what I can do to make things better. Oh, man. This is really exciting times. It is really exciting times. Good morning, everyone. Oh my gosh, I tell you what a wonderful night of sleep. I can't believe it. Oh, the relief is actually quite incredible. I'm actually caught off guard how well it feels to sleep in a bed. It's been so darn long. It's been so darn long since I moved out here. Oh, my goodness, I tell you what, a lot of stuff has happened since that point. But, as you can see, something else has changed. As you guys remember, I was talking to you about this before. I was looking into getting a shed put up, and this is what we got. Now, I actually ordered 2 sheds. The guys were able to come and put this one up, get it ready to go, rocking and rolling, and they did not have time to install the other one. The other one's going to end up going over there, but this is the one that we have up and ready and rocking and rolling right now. And as you can see, it's pretty nice looking. Even has nice lighting. I mean, I feel like we're actually professionals now. I know. I can hardly believe it either, but that's kind of what it's feeling like. So, what has happened since yesterday? Well, our crops are ready to go. They're ready to harvest. All of them are ready to harvest, I should say. They're all ready to go, ready to rock. So we're going to end up starting on that right away with the harvesting. And that's really the reason why I got up so early. I noticed yesterday late at night as I was taking a load of wood into town that part of our crops were good to go. There's like a couple small patches down in the lower area by the pond here that were not ready to go yet. So we just kind of held off till this morning. But now it seems like everything's ready to rock and roll. So let's get ourselves out here and let's get ourselves going. I mean, it's time. It's got to happen. We got to get this stuff done. Alright, turn my lights on, get ourselves over here. And I accidentally turned the tractor off. Oh boy, that's, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? There we go. Now we're ready to rock and roll. She's kind of loud. That's right, this is soybeans. I couldn't remember what it was that I planted out here. Oh boy, it's been so long. So, I was scouting out the land over here just the other day after I had left you guys alone. I'm thinking kind of up beyond the other side of the sickly liver field. I think we're going to end up putting a field in up over there. I'm going to have to remove a couple trees. I'm probably just going to start making some wood chips for those. I think only... it'd be... what it comes down to is I could go ahead and get our harvester over here, the tree harvester, get everything loaded up, go over there, cut down 2 trees, and then take it back, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, so I'll probably just end up taking the Mercedes and use the tree devourer and just make them all into wood chips. And actually, speaking of wood chips, the utilities company is actually going to start building the facilities today. I don't know if any of them are done yet or what their plan is, but they are planning on getting some of that stuff rocking and rolling today. I don't know if they'll finish it, but they are going to get it at least started. As for when we're going to be able to check the stuff out and start making sales over there, because we have stuff that they want. We have silage for the BGA. Yeah, the BGA, I think is what it is. They want silage. So that's one of the things we can take over there. We don't have any sugar beets, though. That might be something we look into, but I'm not too sure how deep we want to go down that rabbit hole, to be honest with you. But that's one of the places. And we have tons and tons of wood chips, so that could very possibly be one of the things that we jump on board with as well. The other thing is along with the actual facilities that they're building, the roads. They're going to start doing some road construction. I heard them out and about this morning, and they were rocking and rolling. But I haven't seen or heard any of them start working on the roads as of yet. Hopefully in a little while here they will, so we can kind of see what's going on, see what's going to happen. I tried asking if they'd be willing to let me go cut down some of the trees and do wood chips. They said that they're pretty sure they don't need me to do that. It was a nice gesture, but they're probably just going to use their own people. But even with that being said, I told them, hey, if something goes wrong, just let me know, and I'll go out there and I'll take care of the trees. You just got to let me know which ones, and I'll do it for them. So we'll see what ends up happening. I got my fingers crossed that they'll let me go ahead and go out there and take down some of the trees and wood chips, because if that's the case, I can go ahead and take the stuff down on land that's not mine. They're going to go ahead and build the roads for us, and then I can sell the wood chips back to the utilities. I mean, why not? Oh, it's a win-win-win-win situation. You just gotta love it. I mean, I don't understand what else you really want. Oh, man. Alright, guys. So with that being said, I'm going to keep rocking and rolling. I'll probably catch up with you guys once I get to some of these other fields. I think what I'm going to end up doing here is I'm going to do a little bit of multitasking. I gave Arnold a call earlier this morning. He's going to be coming out. He's going to help with the harvest, so we'll kind of start with that sort of stuff. And I think I am going to pull the trigger on that tanker for the back of our truck. I think I'm going to make a call into town and have them get that ready for me so I can go ahead and buy that. I just don't want all this stuff sitting around anymore. I'd like to go ahead and put it away someplace. So that's kind of where we're at for right now. And yeah, I think that's it. So like I said, guys, I'm going to keep rocking and rolling. I'll probably meet up with you guys in a little while, or after a while, I don't know. Probably once the harvest gets a little bit farther along, but yeah, that's where we're at, and I will see you guys later. Well, howdy do and welcome back. As you can see, we have completed our harvest, and it is time for us to go ahead and clean up our vehicles. As of this moment, we ended up getting just about 34,000 liters of wheat. Oh, not. No. Yeah, 34,000 liters of wheat and about just a hair under 30,000 liters of soybeans. So that ain't too shabby. Now, one of the things that we did purchase is we did purchase a pressure washer here, just because I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of looking at all of this dirty stuff. We have pride. We're real farmers. We got to take care of our stuff. Oh man! Besides Arnold, he's giving me a hard time yet again. I'm noticing a trend with that kid. Good kid, but he definitely has no problems giving me a hard time whatsoever. So that's one of those things we're just gonna end up having to deal with. Let's get this guy out of the way and let's start. Yeah, we'll just take and park it around the corner for right now. Alright. Yeah, so I figured I'd go ahead and put the pressure washer right near where we do the repairs on our vehicles. That way, you know, we can come up here, repair our vehicles, come back, and take care of all of this stuff all at the same time without, you know, really having to jump around and do multiple different things all at once. So, it's just a thought. I don't know if it's a good one, but it's a thought. Oh man, this big workhorse right here has done a lot for us. That is for sure. That is for darn sure. So, you might be sitting there asking yourself, why is that plow on? We don't need to plow anything. As I said before, or I had talked about before, I should say, I decided to go ahead and make another field, but I kind of got a little carried away. We're going to go ahead and set this down here for right now. I will be putting this stuff away. It's not like I'm leaving it here forever, but I just setting it down for right now. I wouldn't be afraid. Oh my gosh, this thing is so bright and shiny. I love it. I absolutely love it. I forgot. No damage on the barn there. Yeah, so like I said, I got a little carried away with the field. And what we're going to go ahead and do here after we get done scanning our fields, we're going to go over here and take care of this, pick up all the straw and get ourselves rocking and rolling. Yeah, so I actually created 2 fields. Yeah, like I said, I got slightly carried away. So the first field is up over here. It's not too bad. It's a decent sized field. Well, actually, it's compared to all the fields we got here, it's actually a relatively small sized field. Alright, let's get this up here. And we'll start taking some soil samples of this. There we go. Yeah, so this is one of the fields that we ended up creating, and then I ended up creating a field alongside this other field over here. So, yeah, where I said I was going to just do 1 field, I ended up doing 2. But I figured, why not? You know, we got the space. We have the capabilities. Let's do it. Now, one thing I am kind of concerned about, and this is This is entirely my fault. It just shows I did not think this through too well. Both this field and our other field that we just created over there are... They have some hills. They definitely have some hills to compete with here. Now, normally I would say, you know, that's not really that big of a deal. But unfortunately, our harvester is not the strongest of willed harvesters. So this could end up being more of a challenge for us. And it's kind of unfortunate because one of the things we wanted to go about doing is we wanted to go about getting a new tractor and seeder. Well, we have to get a new seeder. We sold ours as a power move, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about that, they may not have been the best of ideas, so... Whoops. But we'll come over here, we'll take a look at this. Now, I decided we would kind of go up that hill a little bit before it got to be too steep, and then kind of left it down in the valley right here. I left enough space right there so I can make a road in between these two, or at least a little goat path, or whatever you want to call it. I like calling them little goat paths. Now, one thing I am a little curious about is I did plant this right next to the mountain here. So I don't know. I don't know if falling rock is going to be something we have to concern ourselves with. It is still early morning. So I guess we're not going to get a real accurate... I don't know what you want to call it, a real accurate representation of what's going to end up happening here, because it's not going to be till at least noon before this area gets sun. I'm hoping that's not going to affect the crops too much. I don't think it should, but we're just going to have to wait and see, to be honest with you. Yeah. Oof. Well, I did say before that, you know, we had to get a couple more fields before we kind of be close to where Grandpa would be if, you know, we factored in, like, inflation or, you know, whatever it is you want to call it. And I honestly think with what we got right here, we may have just gotten to that point where I'd say we have equivalently restored the farm, at least for the field-wise. There's still a couple sheds and stuff I think we should really take care of here and build up. I mean, we got to do that anyways, you know. That's a necessity. We can't have everything sitting outside. We're not animals. We're not animals. I don't even know if that's right or not, but we're going to do it anyways. Oh boy. So I tell you what, guys, I'm going to keep on doing this. I'll probably end up liming up the fields, and I probably will end up catching up with you guys in a little while. I'm thinking it's going to be when we go to pick up our new seeder or planter or something else. I don't know. I'm definitely not coming home with a sweeter again. That's for darn sure. I don't think that would be a good move on our part. Alright, so it only ended up costing us $1,800. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. And like I said, guys, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take care of this stuff. And even as I told you, I'm taking care of this right here. So I'll probably end up... Ooh, actually, you know what? We're going to go like this. We're going to put the plow back on this side, and we're probably going to set up... yeah, we're probably going to end up setting up Arnold going ahead with the limer and have him start liming some of our new fields while we go ahead and do a little bit of cultivating action. So I will catch up with you guys later. Like I said, I'll probably end up talking to you again around the time we're going and picking up our new vehicle in town. So I guess until that time, we'll catch you in a little while. Welcome back, everyone. How are you guys all doing? Well, we have a couple new interesting things that have happened to us in the last little bit here. We were asked to go ahead and essentially grind up some trees, cut them up, grind them up for the road people. They did have some issues with people coming in. Some stuff fell through on their end, and they did come and ask me, which is super, super cool. They did tell me I get to keep the wood chips after a phone call to the utility company. And there was a stipulation, though. With the wood chips that we collected now, we had to go ahead and sell these wood chips to the wood chip burning plant, I guess is the best way to look at it. Which is... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hold on. Shoot. Well, I didn't see that happening. I probably should have. So we may end up having to fix that up a little bit. That's partially my fault. I had some issues getting in there, so that's all on me. Let's see if we can whip this thing around. But anyways, what we ended up getting in wood chips was right about 85,000 liters of wood chips, which isn't too bad. And we'll go ahead and we'll sell that to the Bio Heating Plant because that has been completed. It's super nifty, super cool. But with that being said, there is kind of a slight downfall to that. Close that up. Oh, that's filthy. We'll have to clean that thing. There is a slight downfall to that because the price we get for selling the wood chips to the Bio Heating Plant is not as good as it would be if we were to take it other places. The price just isn't all that great. So the road is not complete yet. It kind of is up around by where our pit is, and then after that it just goes back to being the way it was. So that's awfully cool. I was able to come out here and help them out, get them rocking and rolling, and we will take this off to the Bio Heating Plant, which is super, super cool. And we'll end up taking a trip into town here because we need to go ahead and buy our next vehicle. It's something that just has to happen. But for the time being, let's come on over here. Let's take a peek at this. This is nice. This is up and open. And they did talk to me about potentially, not these guys, but there were some other people out here. They're talking, well, maybe this area may start popping soon. They don't know because they do have a second port. And I guess if there is a second port over here, it could be a good place to go ahead and open things up and start selling things. So we'll have to keep our eyes open, see what ends up happening. But this is where we are going. This is the new Bio Heating Plant that we got going on here. And let's start offloading this right now. So open that up so it comes out better. So the wood chips are selling for, I think it's $175 per 1,000 liters, which isn't great. In town I can sell it for just about double that, but the way I see it is that for right now we are helping this building. We're helping supply energy to the town and other areas as well. So that was only just a hair under 10 grand for all those wood chips. Ooh, man. Well, maybe I'll say, hey, we should really put an extension on right here. Oh, man. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to sell everything that we need for the wood chips because I want to get that out of my system right now. So I'll end up going back and filling up probably about another 30,000 liters and taking that over there. That way, all the wood chips that we would have collected, earned, I don't know how you want to say it, from cutting down the trees for the road to go in, that'll all be separate. It'll all be done. It'll all be complete. It'll all be taken care of. So I just want to get that stuff taken care of. And one of the other things we're going to end up doing here really quick, after it appears Arnold needs a little help, with directions on what he needs to do. After all that's said and done, we're probably going to drive into town so we can go ahead and make our next purchase. We're gonna buy something. Buy a tractor and some sort of planting. I gotta fix that. Some sort of planting setup. I did have an idea of what I wanted to buy, but as time has gone on, I'm not too sure what I'm gonna do. I think I may be starting to have a slight change of heart. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna kind of pay attention so we can make sure we only get about 30,000 liters in this thing, and then we'll take that off to the bioheating plant and be good to go. But as for what we're going to get in town, I know the tractor I want to get. I've had my eye on this thing for quite some time, so that's a guarantee. But where I'm a little leery is what we're going to get after that. All right, there's our 30,000 liters, so that's going to be right about our 85. It's actually a little bit more, but you know what? It's not that big of a deal because we're helping the town out. So I guess ultimately that's kind of what matters. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, guys. I told you I was going to get this all cultivated and taken care of, but I didn't. I had to get pulled aside and start working with the trees. But you know what? We'll get back on that. We'll get things cultivated up. We'll be rocking and rolling. It's going to be absolutely fabulous. And hopefully we'll be planting shortly after that with our new seeder or planter. Like I said, not 100% sure what we're going to be getting. I got an idea. But not 100% sold one way or another yet. We'll figure it out though. But for the time being, let's get over here and sell this last little bit that we're going to be selling here. I don't know how much more we're going to be selling. Like I said, right now prices are not all that great selling stuff here in comparison to going to town. So I'm not entirely sure what we're going to be doing. Alright, let's see here. About $5,000. So that's not too bad. The good news is that we did provide a good chunk, or at least a good jumping off point, a good starting point for that place to get itself up and running and functioning the way it really needs to be functioning properly. And what we're going to go ahead and do right now is I think there's a couple things we need to take care of. First of all, we're going to go into town. Well, one of the things I'd like to do is I'd like to take care of tidying up the barn a little bit. I mean, we're not selling it. Don't worry. It's not being sold. It's not being ripped apart. None of that stuff is happening. So don't worry. But I think we really need to get that thing cleaned up a little bit. I see we still have some straw laying around in there. I want to get that buttoned up and put away. Let's go ahead and throw this guy right here. Seems like a decent enough parking spot. Leave it on a hill. I wouldn't worry about that. And let's check this out since we're over here. Oh, good. It's made in silage. So let's go ahead and open this thing up. Come on. There we go. All right, perfect. So we'll have to go ahead and get that moved over as well. That's super. I absolutely love it. So what I'm going to do here now, guys, is I'm going to hop into this bad mamma jamma right here. I'm going to drive myself into town, and I'll probably meet you when I get there, because I'm going to call ahead and see if I can ask them to get some of this stuff ready for us so we're not waiting around all day long. At least that's the hope. Oh boy. And here we are in town, and we have bought a brand new ride. Yes, we did. We got ourselves a Challenger 685D with 340 ponies underneath the bonnet. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. What a workhorse. And right behind it we have the John Deere CCS 1990. that holds 5,500 liters. Altogether, guys, it pretty much tapped me out. I have about $8,500 left, but I tell you what, this thing is going to be great. This thing has so much power, so much handling. Oh my goodness. I am just loving it to the max. And I tell you what we're going to do right now, because I seen something pretty cool on the way into town here. Let's get this on here. I don't know. What do you think? I'm not feeling confident in this. No, I'm not feeling confident in that at all. We'll just drive it home. That's fine. That's fine. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to put all the miles on this thing right away, but we'll go ahead and do it. So, the road has been completed. I was actually kind of surprised by this new development, but the road has been completed. And along the way, I noticed the BGA is up, it is running, and it is functioning. Well, I really couldn't tell if it was functioning or not. I just drove past it. But we will take a drive over there. We will look at that thing, and oh my gosh, what a beauty. What a beauty. The challenge has been accepted. Oh yeah. This thing is going to make easy work, and I think this seeder here ends up having a working width of, I think it's 13.7 meters, so it really does a good job. And the tire combinations on this Challenger are actually pretty darn amazing. So let's get ourselves in here and see what's going on as we come up to the BGA. So this BGA here is one of the areas where we go ahead from the diagram they had for us at the meeting. What meeting was that? The utility meeting. I'm sorry, the utility meeting. They showed a diagram of kind of the general setup, and I think this is where you go ahead and you put your silage, grass, hay, sugar beets. I think you can even do potatoes too. I don't really remember. Maybe potatoes, I'm not sure. I believe this is where you get your digestate out, which I'm not really understanding. I think what ends up happening is you take the sugar beets that have the sugar. That kind of helps break down all the biodegradable material, and that actually produces the methane, and that fires the turbines and all that stuff. Well, the byproduct of all that stuff is digestate. And digestate, from what I understand, makes absolutely fabulous fertilizer. So that might be something we look into here. And also there are a couple bunker silos in the back over here. We have our own, so I don't know if we're necessarily going to need that, but from what I understand, there are going to be a lot of shipments coming in that maybe are not silage or ready to go in there, so they can actually go ahead and make silage out of stuff over there. So that's pretty darn slick. That is pretty darn slick. But what we'll go ahead and do is we'll continue on our way home, and that way you can get a lay of the land, see how the road looks, and most importantly, look at this absolute beautiful banana that we're driving here. Oh my gosh. So now that the road is complete and we know where it's going to be, I think at this point I can start looking at where I want to make my little private roads. For you guys who aren't, I don't know what it's called worldwide, but here in the U.S. they call those little roads like that where you're just kind of on your own property, private roads or private drives. So I'm just going to call it that because I honestly, I don't know. It's kind of like with the 911, the emergency number. I don't remember what it is all over the place. So back to this. Sorry, guys. But yeah, so we'll be able to go ahead and make all of our private roads all over the place where we want them. I'm thinking we're going to go ahead and probably Oh man, I think what we may end up doing, because we're gonna have a drive up through that little valley right there, going in between there to our quarry. But I'm not sure where it's going to go. It may even fork off and go in two directions. So if we want to come closer to home here, if we're just kind of using it as a turnaround to go back into town, we can make it happen. But with that being said, guys, I mean, this is pretty much it. This is where we're at. We're all the way there. I tell you what, that is an awfully, awfully nice road that we got going on right there. They definitely did a great job with everything. But now for us, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to finish getting this field ready. This field's ready to go, but I kind of want to go ahead and do everything all at once. Get rocking and rolling. I don't know if we're going to have like a massive soybean harvest or something like that. I honestly, I don't know. One downfall of this guy, though, is it does not do corn, so we're not going to do corn just yet. It's unfortunate. I really want to do corn, but we'll just go ahead. I'll scoop all that up, and I'll probably... Well, heck, I'll probably talk to you again when we're ready to make a go at it over here, starting to plant everything. So why don't you give me a little bit? I'll get this tidied up, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. All right, everyone. Here we are. Maiden Voyage, getting ready to rock and roll. I am incredibly excited by this. Now, I think earlier I said that this seeder had a working width of 13.7 meters. I actually went back and checked. I got out my ruler and figured out it was only 13.4 meters, so I led you astray, and I do apologize by that. But I want to get this thing going, getting this thing rocking, and here we go. We are planting with this big bad mamma jamma. Oh my goodness. This is going to make short work of everything. Oh my gosh. Especially if we continue to expand and get more fields and really just make a big go at it. Now, like I said before, the biggest thing that we're going to be running into an issue-wise is I really want to plant corn, and this thing does not plant corn, so I'm going to have to earn a couple extra bucks, maybe sell some stuff, look in the catalog, see what I can find to hopefully have the capability of planting corn, because let's face it, I want to do it. Now, I think this isn't really planting the field. I think it's seeding the field. This is, I guess, classified as a seeder. Honestly, I don't know the difference. I couldn't tell you the difference between a planter and a seeder. All I know is that this Challenger is just working. It's taken the hill like a champ. I'm quite impressed. Quite impressed. I think this may be my new favorite tractor to drive around. Sorry, guys, close your ears. You didn't hear that, but oh, maybe my other tractors won't be too distraught, too beat up over this new development. And if they are, whatever. They'll get over it. Oh, man. So, guys, this is where I'm going to go ahead and leave you for a little bit. I'm super stoked. We have stuff ready to go. We have the 2 power plants up and running, this dual actioned power that is coming to the valley. Oh man, good times are ahead for this community, and I am super stoked to be a part of it. But if you're liking what you're hearing, liking what you're seeing, go ahead and smash that like button. Please hit the subscription. It really helps out the channel. Turn the notification bell to on after you hit the notification bell. Oh, that way you know when this and other great videos are coming out. I think you're going to like it. I really do. If you have the opportunity and you want to make somebody's day, go ahead and share this video with them. Oh, gosh, I tell you what, they're either going to laugh or they're going to cry or really just question your judgment altogether. Oh, man, guys, we're making progress. Lots and lots of progress. And I feel a cold breeze in the air. I'm not sure what it is, but hopefully you'll stick around to see what happens next week and figure out what's going on. But until that time, thanks for stopping by.